when I was in his presence asking about the month of March, said, tell my people to move from strength to strength. Said, tell my people to move from strength to strength. But before we continue, it was earlier this morning I was able to know that moving from strength to strength that the Lord spoke about actually has a link with the prophetic encounter that he talked about last month. And earlier this morning he was telling me that most of the people who did not enjoy the transit from Egypt to Canaan were mostly people whose strength were not enough. People who did not take possession of the fulfillment of the promises of God. In order for them to arrive at Canaan, who at the point their strength failed and they did not make efforts to refuel when that strength failed. Some, their strength failed in the area of their faith in God. Some, their strength failed in the area of patience with God. Some, their strength failed in the area of hoping in God. Some, their strength failed in the area of taking advantage and maximizing the provision of God. And he was telling me in the morning, do you know there are people that ever almost want to feel satisfied when he has not blessed them? Because when they have not been blessed, they were always in God's presence. When money has not come, they are always in different programs. But the moment money comes, their strength of devotion diminishes. And once it diminishes, they divert, that's their devotion towards God. They divert that devotion towards mammon. Are we together? If you look at the book of Psalm 114, it says that they left, when Israel left Egypt, went out of Egypt, the people of household of Jacob came out of the people of strange language. Judah became a sanctuary and Israel his dominion. The sea saw it and fled, and Jordan was driven back. The mountains skipped like ram, and the hymns like little lambs. O see what elected that out and was driven back, O Jordan, that thou fled, and Jordan that thou was driven back. He was asking those questions and all that. And it came to a point, do you know that Psalm 114 was not a closed chapter? Because it did not encapsulate every of the experiences that the people had in the land, as they were going from the land of Egypt to the promised land that the Lord was taking them to. They only stopped at the area where Moses did not magnify God in the presence of the people, where he provided water for them that their livestock even drank, and some of them were even taken away by the water. According to the book of Numbers. Are we together now? So, the strength failed. The people that did not enter into the promised land, their strength failed. It was not that he didn't have a encounter. The children of Israel had a encounter with God, had a encounter with the power of God, had a encounter with the faithfulness of God, because there was none of the promises that God promised them that he didn't fulfill. None. But not all the people who are part of the generation he promised actually partook of that promise of God. Not all the people experienced that power of God. Some had this very short memory in the sense that they quickly forget. Have you ever taken time to read the experience of these people? In a moment, they are asking God to provide. After God has provided, they are doubting the ability of God to provide. In a moment, they are crying to God to help them. In another, imagine the day that Moses was not around and they contributed their earring and their jewelries, and they made the molten calf. And they say, and Aaron, the same Aaron said, behold your God, O Israel. Aaron that God appointed and said, this is the person that is going to be your mouthpiece. It was that Aaron. How long the process it will take for them to be able to melt different jewelry and come out with a calf. And all that time, there was no strength to say no to the people. And when Moses came, he said it was the people. Just like the case of Samuel. Samuel said it was the people. They went to war. God said, kill everybody. He said it was the people that said that. Saul. Are we together? So, the reason why we will have to move from strength to strength in this time is that prophetic encounter is not enough if you do not allow the strength of God to flow in your life. Did you hear me? You can have an encounter with God. In fact, the Holy Ghost was telling me that